let's talk about our predictions. All right, OKC versus, we've got the Kings here because that's who I think is going to come out of the play-in because the Grizzlies are sad and they have a lottery protected pick, so they probably want to lose. And Dallas is like not good. So I'm going to go with OKC because they're the clearly better team in this series. OKC in 3.
OKC in 3.
Yeah, OKC in 3. The Kings are going to forfeit the last game. Or if it's Dallas, they might not have enough healthy players to not forfeit the last game.
Yeah, it's like we don't know who they're going to be playing, but it kind of doesn't matter. I'll just say in 4.
Yeah. The Thunder are going to take care of business. All right, for Houston Warriors, Rockets Warriors, I'm going to go with Golden State in 6. The Rockets can't score. The Warriors can't score, but the Rockets can't score even worse.
Yeah.
All Golden State needs to do, and maybe this is miraculous too, is keep the Rockets off the offensive glass. If they do that, they could win it in 5. Like I actually believe, I agree with you. But if they can't do that, like the Rockets win the series. But if they can, and they should be able to, even going small.
I just feel like the Warriors are more experienced. They're the vets, and the Rockets are like no one expected them to be here kind of thing. And I like Steph and Draymond and Jimmy able to like. I mean, the Rockets are tough too. You know, they're scrappy, but I just feel like the Warriors are gonna be able to win at least one series. I feel like they're energized by that Jimmy trade in there.
For sure. All right, Lakers, Wolves. So this is my ultimate hate watch series. I'm going to go with the Lakers. I just think they're going to win because the Wolves don't have a good matchup for Luka. I'm going to go Lakers in 6 because I just don't think... I think they're going to win all the close games in this series because the Wolves also can't execute down the stretch against any team that isn't the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
And it's a bad matchup for them, so... There we are.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a short series. I think the Wolves are still good. I think like there could be a game where like Luka or LeBron have like a weird off night on offense even and lose some games. So we'll see. Oh, here comes the big Nuggets Clippers.
Oh, yes. Nuggets Clippers. Here we go. All right. I wish I could make this prediction after game 1 because I would get to see like what the defense looks like. Both intensity and execution.
We're hoping it will look different somehow, but then when it's horrible, we won't be surprised.
I'm going to go Nuggets in 6. Mostly, honestly, because I don't believe in the Clippers. And there's an off chance that Denver looks decent. If Denver doesn't look decent in game 1, like this is a short series.
I'll go Nuggets in... I'll just say Nuggets in 7, which I hate. And I hate the idea of us being in a 7-game series and like something weird happening at the end, just like it did last season against the Wolves. But I also feel like we want to
Denver
correct
also
that.
Just doesn't win home game 7s. So we're due.
I think we're due. But I am very unsure about this.
All right, so that is the reason that this is the series everybody's looking at, is because it is like pretty close.
It's hard to say.
These are both like good, not great teams in my opinion, with really good playoff performers on both sides, and then they have like we said, it's a strength versus strength matchup as well. Like we could be totally wrong, and like the Nuggets offense just totally sputters. Like they could play good defense. And then we're just like, oh my God, they like can't get or make any good shots in this series. And then they just lose. Like that could also just happen randomly. And in that case, like, it's just like, okay, I guess the Clippers strength won in that strength versus strength matchup. So the next series is a little bit different than we had in the show notes. Because I just checked the close to halftime score of the Heat Bulls play-in game, which is going on as we record this episode. And the Heat are up 24 on the Bulls almost halftime. which is fine. We'll just put a little Miami Heat over the Chicago Bulls logo. Who knows? The Bulls could come back in this game. They just cut it to 23. But
Well, it won't
regardless,
really matter.
it's not going to matter at all. This is going to be Cleveland in 4. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter who they play. Not
Yeah.
even the slightest. Cleveland kind of struggles a little bit with wingier teams. Neither of these teams is particularly wingy, so I wouldn't even give them a game. But you're gonna give them a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a game just because I just feel like it's the Eastern Conference and teams just aren't as disciplined. Even the great ones, they can drop a game.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I mean, the Celtics dropped a game to the Heat last year.
Yeah, see,
without Jimmy, so who knows? And it is the Heat. Spo's gonna figure out how to do some BS, at least in a game. So that's fair. I still think the Cavs are just so
it could be a
much
sweep
better.
for sure.
Boston Celtics versus my Orlando Magic. I gotta go Celtics in 4 here. The Magic, in order to steal a game in this series, would need to shoot well from 3. And they are the worst shooting team of the last 10 years.
Oof.
So I got to predict they get swept. But I do think 1.5 of these games will be close. They're going to make it to the clutch in one of these games and just not have enough. And then in another one, they'll be right there for 3 quarters. And then Boston's going to hit the Jets. I think 2 of these games will be blowouts.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. I'm going to do the same then. Celtics in 4. So the Celtics, they're ready to do this. So I could see a sweep in the first round.
Knicks, Pistons. I got Knicks in 6.
Wow.
I don't feel great about it because I could easily see this being Knicks in 5 or Pistons in 7.
I think it could potentially be a fun series because the Pistons are a little bit better than their reputation if you haven't been watching them. But I'm still going to pick the Knicks in 5, even though they've had weird struggles in some ways with Bridges and all that.
Hopefully, I think Brunson's probably going to struggle a little bit with the Pistons' length defensively, but ultimately, the Knicks have a lot of guys that have been in big games. The Pistons have not been here before, and they're not a better team. So the Knicks should win this series. It should be Knicks in 5, but I just don't trust this Knicks team. They should have dispatched of the Sixers in 5 last year, and then they flubbed that. And I think this Pistons team is better than that Sixers team was. And the Knicks are worse this year than they were last year. So it's just a little bit closer. Pacers, Bucks. I'm going to go Pacers in this one, but I don't feel good about it. This is a 3-6 matchup. The Pacers are just so inconsistent. Even last year when they did upset the Bucks round 1, obviously no Giannis and no Dame for part of that series as well. So the Bucks have some players that have been in big games before, even though they're going to be without Dame. But they have guys that can take over. No Chris Middleton, which I think makes them substantially worse in a playoff setting. Chris Middleton was giving the Pacers fits last year. I'm going to go Pacers in 6. Pacers in 6. I don't feel good about it, though. I think this could go 7, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks won.
I'm going to go Pacers in 7 as well. Or not as well, but Pacers in 7. I feel like there were so many series last year in the East that went 7. It was they're happening all the time. So I'm just going to go with that. Giannis can get them to a 7th game, but they just won't have enough. And then Giannis will ask out.
Maybe.
I would say out of all these series, the only one I feel really the ones I feel like I could be wrong about potentially is, of course, the Nuggets, Clippers, maybe the Lakers, Wolves. I don't feel as confident in that. And then the Pacers, Bucks, I just don't really know what to expect. We just talked about that, but
yeah, really don't know what to expect.
Yeah. But otherwise, the rest I feel are pretty straightforward, unless the Rockets somehow.
Yeah, the Rockets could just be look, we're the 2 seed for a reason. You're the Warriors. You mess everything up. Totally possible. And then Adam Silver will be very mad that he doesn't get a Lakers Warriors series. Yeah, that brings us to the end of our predictions. We'll probably do like full brackets at the end of round one. And kind of predict the rest of the way for the playoffs, preferably after we figure out if the Nuggets are like a good team again.
Yes.
We'll know for sure at the end of this round. I'll tell you that. If the Nuggets do get eliminated, we're going to be doing some serious, intensive hate watching of the rest of these playoffs. I can tell you that much. There are several hate agendas on the line here. But maybe the Nuggets won't get eliminated. Maybe they will go all the way. Like, who knows? If this renewed energy that they showed in the last 3 games turns into something more, like, this is a dangerous team. Like, they are good players. They have the best player in the world on their team. And maybe all these players, these young players especially, just kind of peak at the right time. Like, talk about peaking at the right time if they were to somehow go on a run. All right. Well, if you like our content, please remember to click the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Hit the notification bell. And always remember, especially in the playoffs, winning is fun and losing sucks.